Do we just get the 10 so we can take in the 90?
That's what I'm saying.
Because what's happening now is what they were worried about the most.
Exactly.
They were willing to give the 10 to take in the 90. That was probably the best business move.
A lot, but it's worth it.
That's what they were thinking. Because now, rather she gets anything or not, and at some point, all they're going to do is keep releasing things until you relent.
Yep. They want more.
And I worry if every time something comes out, do those numbers continue to change? Does he lose everything? That's what I'm concerned about. That's why I was talking about this. This is worst place to get.
Michael Irvin reacts to the Shannon Sharpe lawsuit. Check out what he had to say, and then I'll come back with my comments.
The tape of the phone conversation between Shannon and the girl. I don't want to disrespect her, and I don't want to call her Jane Doe now that her name is out there.
Oh, it's out there. It's definitely out there.
I'm almost afraid to even talk about it.
Yeah,
and
scary
I didn't want
times.
to talk about it. I would just sit here and enjoy the game. And I should have just watched the game, maybe not picked up the phone. But when I picked up the phone, it made me feel that. I saw one time that the leak tape, and then the statement came up, Shannon's statement, because he had to speak and address all the social media. Everything comes up. His lawyer saying they offered $10 million or tens of millions. And now the thing starts to unravel in a way that I say that obviously the intent or whatever it is, it gets worse and worse for him.
Yeah, it's a bad look for Shannon Sharpe. And then by the lawyer releasing that they offered to pay her $10 million to kind of, put this on the hush, don't speak about it. By him doing that, showing his hand, they realize, okay, you're willing to spend $10 million? Or are you willing to spend 20, 30? You know what? Let's just sue you for 50. Let's aim for the skies, and if we can leave out of here with 15 or 20, that's good. But the only thing is, you messed up Shannon Sharpe's money. So the money that he would have been able to pay you with a huge lawsuit, yeah, that 10 million, I ain't gonna pay you nothing now. So now we gotta fight it. So if I was that female, I'd have probably took the 10 million. Why not take the 10? Are there other people in your pockets that want you to get more? With Tony Busby representing you, I know he has to get probably a 30% of that, 35. She's not paying taxes on that amount, so she'll probably make about $7 million after the fact, tax free. She should be good with that. An easy finesse. You went from probably making a couple thousand here and there, he give you little monies here and there, to making 10 million. So whatever she got on Shannon, what we heard was just the beginning. Terrible look by Shannon Sharpe.
And this is like when he said they offered $10 million to settle it. Everybody will think out here like, oh, well, you must got something on you if you're going to offer $10 million. But this game now is not a game about finding truth. That's what I was trying to say to you guys on the live stream yesterday. And I really don't. I don't really want to talk about it, but because of I've had such history. But that's why I have to talk about it. Because I don't know if I can remain real with you guys of knowing that I've had history and I don't say anything about it. And it's not my way anyway. But be not deceived. I don't want to talk about it. I really don't. Because I work hard to keep it out of my life. I don't even like talking because I don't want to bring it around me. And every man worries about it.
Yeah, by Shannon Sharpe offering the $10 million for the settlement, that was just a finesse move to be like, you know what? I'd rather pay 10 now than to be kicked out of ESPN, lose my sponsorships. Pretty much everything that's going on with Shannon now, I can see why he was willing to spend 10. But I would have aimed low. I'd have been like, here go $1 million or $2 million. See what happens with that. But that 10 million, man, he tried his best to kind of keep this on the low, but looks like she wants more.
What he's going through. And this is what it is. Because now he's venturing into a place where it's just lose-lose for him.
Oh yeah, he
People say,
definitely
why would you
losing.
offer $10 million? You must have had something. You must have done something. You must have done something. No, it doesn't mean you're guilty. This is and that's a hell of a nuisance value. What a lot of people have to do is have to determine if there's a nuisance value to make it just get out of here. If it's something that can destroy you, and you're seeing what's happening, and their side, they're not going to put everything out at once.
Nah, this is just the beginning.
They're going to keep putting little things out, one at a time.
Yeah, and again, I understand why he did it. Doesn't mean he's guilty of anything. He just felt as though with all this evidence that's going to come out, even the stuff that we're hearing now and seeing, was it enough to pay the $10 million and for him to possibly make $100+ million with a podcast media deal? I think he was weighing those options. He knew he was in negotiations. He knew his potential to make a lot of money, tens of millions of dollars, was worth more than, the $10 million that he can throw at her now. But by her turning that down, that's a terrible look for Shannon, because there must be more evidence to where, yeah, you may be innocent, but in the court of public opinion, you may be guilty to some degree. So Shannon Sharpe, man, you moved sloppy, got to take accountability. He messed up at the end of the day, but he got finesse. Done dirty, but it is what it is. Got to know how you moving out there.
So everybody will talk about this.
Terrible, man.
Then
Tripping, Shannon.
They'll give it a couple of days and something else will come out. They'll put out something new.
Yeah, every
That's
day.
why, in the beginning, a lot of people were shocked to hear that he offered $10 million.
I wasn't shocked, but why come out with that stuff though?
That's what they call in that business a nuisance value. Now, you look at the 10, I look at 10 and say, whoa, that's real.
He got money on him.
But from him, and I'm sure all his advisors and lawyers and everything, they're not looking at the 10. They're looking at the 100 that was in the press 2 weeks ago.
Exactly.
So they're saying, oh God.
Yeah, that's my point. What I said a few seconds ago. We're looking at $100+ million right now. So Shannon and his legal team was like, do you want to offer 10? Because you got about $100+ million somewhere down the road later this year or next year with your new contract potentially. The volume thing is ending soon. Maybe he's going to re-up with the volume. But is Colin Cowherd and his team, do they want Shannon Sharpe on board? Or could this be a tactic to where, you know what? We was going to offer you $80 million, but here goes $50 million. You're losing your sponsors. You're looking real desperate right now. You can really use this money for your legal fees. So if you're Shannon, you might have to take that low ball offer. Because at the end of the day, even though you may be innocent, just the content being put out there in your name is just making you look bad. So he definitely lost a lot of potential earnings with this lawsuit.
Do we just get the 10 so we can take in the 90?
That's what I'm saying.
Because what's happening now is what they were worried about the most.
Exactly.
They were willing to give the 10 to take in the 90. That was probably the best business move.
A lot, but it's worth it.
That's what they were thinking. Because now, rather she gets anything or not, and at some point, all they're going to do is keep releasing things until you relent.
Yep. They want more.
And I worry if every time something comes out, do those numbers continue to change?
Yeah, I believe the numbers will change. I don't know if he can get better for him. We seen what happened with ESPN. This may have been recorded a few days before Shannon Sharpe released that statement. But, ESPN, Disney, they want no parts of that. Even though, again, you may be innocent, it's just too much audio, the choking situation, and the type of stuff that you were into. Disney, they want no parts of that. Even though Shannon Sharpe's probably their best talent, better than Stephen A. Smith. As an overall talent, they're willing to step away from Shannon, at least temporarily, until they can iron out the details and see if they can bring him back on board. So even though Shannon was like, I'll be back during the NFL preseason, that's what he hopes. I don't think it's going to happen. Hopefully it does. I'm rooting for him just as far as someone that's innocent and being lied on, but still got to take accountability. He put himself in this situation and he could potentially lose everything.
was at 10 to 90. Now they break something out, and we go 30 and 70.
Yep, gonna keep going down.
You see what I'm saying? What kind? Until it gets to a point where, I don't know, does he lose everything? That's what I'm concerned about. That's why I was talking about this. This is worst place to get. And if the game was played for truth, nobody would be doing this. We'll wait till we get to the courtroom. But the game isn't played for truth.
It's perception.
The game is played, and I'm saying that game is just a game. God, please, I don't want any of it. I shouldn't even be talking about it. But I'm just saying, that game is played a different way. It ain't about, let's find out really what happened. Let's find out about the truth. It's let's find out who's the best at convincing or confusing people.
Yeah, this is the legal game. How much dirt can we put out on you to change the perception? So either we're going to mess your money up in the future, or we're going to take as much money as we can from you now, and so you can kind of put this situation in the past and try to move forward. So lose-lose situation for Shannon. The perception out there is he's on some other type of stuff. Even though he may be innocent, people look at him like he's still kind of weird. Like, why would a 54-year-old mess with a 19-year-old? Why would you mess with someone that's almost 40 years younger than you? So if you're Shannon Sharpe, man, you should have moved better. You moved sloppy. You're talking on the phone like things aren't being recorded in 2025. This ain't the 90s and early 2000s. Everything that you say or do will be held against you and could be recorded. So again, man, Shannon Sharpe should have known better. He's been covering athletes with similar situations to where they're being recorded, text messages floating around on social media. I thought he would have known better, but evidently he didn't.
But getting them on our side, and through that process, the only person that has anything to lose is Shannon Sharpe.
Yep, Shannon got a lot to lose, and he's already starting to lose now. Like I said earlier, ESPN and him looked like they worked on a separation, stepping away temporarily into the NFL preseason. Looks like the Draftkings and Boost Mobile that was prompted all over Nightcap and Club Shay Shay, they disappeared. So he's losing his sponsors. He's possibly losing his ESPN gig. And he's going to have to possibly fork over some money to this female. So Shannon lost multiple ways, sponsors, opportunities in the future and in the present. So we'll see what happens moving forward with this Shannon Sharpe lawsuit.